Hey friends, welcome back to our channel and welcome if you're new. I'm Angie and in today's video I will be sharing how I style some recent thrifted finds in our home for the Christmas season. It should be a fun video full of tips, tricks, and inspiration for your own space, so I hope you join us today for styling all of these fun finds in our home. If you missed my recent thrift haul video, I will put a link in the description box below for you so that you can see that and catch up on all of the fun things that I found recently. Now let's get started styling our thrifted decor in our home. I found this fun vintage Christmas card stand, and you could just put your Christmas cards on it, but I printed some images off of Graphics Fairy. I'll put a link in the description box for you in case you're interested in these prints. I'm using an old cereal box and I'm just tracing off the size of my image onto this cardboard box, cutting it out, and then I'm going to add some Mod Podge to the back. I just add a thin layer of Mod Podge. You could use a glue stick or any kind of glue that you have on hand. Mod Podge really works well for me on these projects. But I just add a thin layer all over the back of my image. You could skip this step entirely if you print your image on cardstock. I did not have any cardstock on hand, so I'm having to do this step to make my images a little bit more substantial and to stand up in my card stand. So I'm just adding the Mod Podge all over, and then after I do that with the thin layer of Mod Podge, I will flip it over and add it to my cardboard. And this just sticks right on it, and then I will rub out any kind of wrinkles or anything that's in my image. But this is a really easy craft and you could do all kinds of things with it. After your print is on your cardboard, go over the top of it with another layer of Mod Podge, and this will protect your image and just give it a shiny look. And also, if you just go over the print in all different directions with the Mod Podge, it will make it look like a vintage oil painting. I love to do this on my prints just to give it a unique look and to make it look like it is really vintage instead of like I just printed it off of the internet. So I love to do this process to all of my printed images, and then you just lay that to the side and let it dry. I also printed out these music notes, traced them onto the cardboard cereal box, cut that out, and did the same process so that I would have a few different looks in my vintage Christmas card holder. After it was secured down, I went over it with my layer of Mod Podge to give it that vintage look, and then I laid that aside to dry also. And then after everything was dry, I took my ink pad and I just went around the edges of my images, and this just gives it a worn look, makes it look very vintage and old. You could skip this step if you didn't like that look, but I love to make things look older than what they are and make it look like I got it out of an antique store. To style this vintage Christmas card stand, I'm just adding it to our console table in our entryway. I just added some vintage books, some bells, a blue and white vase with a little Christmas tree in it, and I love the golds and the colors in this area. And I'm just adding my cards to this little Christmas card stand. You could add the Christmas cards from your friends and family out here, but for privacy, I didn't want to add them to the YouTube channel, so I'm just adding these cute little cards, and I love how it turned out. It's just a fun addition to this area. It adds some height, and like I said, I love the colors paired so well together out here in our entryway. Next thing I brought home were these small picture frames. I'm always on the hunt for these, and you can use these year-round or for Christmas decor. I will show you both ways to use them. I just printed off some pictures of our girls and one of Annabelle, and then I'm just going to take these picture frames apart. Just remove the backing and put that aside because I'm going to use it again in my final product. But I'm just going to cut out the picture, just use the backing of the frame as a template and trace it off, and then cut down the excess paper off of this so that it will fit in my small frame. I cleaned the picture frame really well, and then I'm just going to add the picture that I just cut out to this frame. The original picture that was in this frame, I'm using it as a backing to my new picture. And when you pop it all together, it is a beautiful personalized frame. You can give this as Christmas gifts. And if I was going to gift this, I would put a pretty piece of scrapbook paper on the back of that cardboard to make it look a little bit better. You could use these as Christmas ornaments by adding a small piece of ribbon to the backing with some hot glue. Hang it on your Christmas tree, and it would be a personalized, beautiful gift to give to someone. I'm going to keep these and add them to our home decor, so I'm just going to take this little package of magnets. These have an adhesive back on them, but to make them more substantial and to hold, I'm going to take that adhesive backing off of the magnet, and I'm going to add hot glue just to make it hold a little bit better. And then I'm just going to add a magnet to the back of this picture frame. I want to find more of these so that I can have a type of gallery wall with little mini frames. But I'm just adding the magnets to the top of the picture frame. I thought that would be enough to hold these, but it was not. These were a little bit heavy, and so I had to go back and add a second magnet to each frame. So keep that in mind if you're doing this project. Add enough magnets to support the weight of the picture frame you're working with. And also, I'm only adding hot glue to the very top of my magnet because I'm gluing it to that little strip of wood on the frame. And you do not see any of the magnet hanging out when you hang this on your refrigerator or any magnetic surface that you attach it to. Then I just added my picture frames to the refrigerator. I think these look so beautiful with the gold, and they take the place of just the regular magnetic strips that you add your photos to. I think that they just add a little bit of glam, and they are a beautiful addition to our kitchen. I also had this picture frame that was a Christmas ornament, and I just removed the ribbon and put it on the refrigerator with my other frames. I love how this turned out, and you could use it year-round. Change out the pictures with the seasons and have a beautiful thrifted decoration in your home. According to y'all's comments in last week's video, the drum was one of your favorite items that I thrifted last week. It's one of my favorites too. I love the green and the different images on the drum. I think that it is so cute for Christmas decor. You could use this for so many things. I thought that adding ornaments and adding it to a table would be very pretty. You could add candy to it and add it to your island in your kitchen. And what I thought would be cute was to add one of my small Christmas trees to it. I just have this one with a burlap base, and I thought it was perfect to hold that and to add it to our bathroom to add a little bit of festive decor in that room. I'm not doing a whole lot in the bathroom, but I thought this would be a beautiful addition and add a little bit of color to that space. Now to the sleigh. This was one of y'all's favorites also from the comments last week, but I needed to give it a little bit of a paint job because with the wood it didn't contrast very well because we have a lot of dark wood in our home. So for the metal part, I painted it with this brass color paint. I love the gold, and especially at Christmas. And then for the body, I used this straw beige. This is a beautiful color. It is not too white, not too beige. It is just the perfect light taupe. And so it's perfect in our home because we have a lot of that in our great room. I just painted the whole sleigh with this color. And I did end up getting some on the metal part, but I will fix that later. But I just painted it all over with one coat. I didn't want it to be perfect, but I went back over the metal part with some rub and buff, and then I added it on top of our piece of wood furniture in our living room, and I love how this looks. I just added a small Christmas tree with the dusty blue ribbon. I added a gift inside of the sleigh, and then I added a mirror behind it with a green wreath, and I just love the simplicity of it with the garland and the twinkle lights. And I think that this really adds to this piece of wood furniture in our home. I always struggle with what to add to that piece of furniture, but I love this at Christmas time. So let me know in the comments which project was your favorite, and let me know. I would love to know. I have so many that I love, but I would like to hear from you. Well, that about wraps up this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you like this type of content, please give us a thumbs up. It helps out our channel so much. As always, thank y'all so much for watching. If you're new to our channel, please hit that subscribe button. And you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and our blog, Our Contented Home. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.